to my YouTube channel. Hope you all are doing well. Today's story is Lantern Keeper of Misty Hollow. In the heart of the kingdom, there was a quiet, enchanted valley called Misty Hollow. It's known for its ancient magical forest that was always shrouded in fog. The fog made it nearly impossible to see past the trees, and people from neighboring villages rarely ventured the tree. The fog made it nearly impossible to see past the trees, and people from neighboring villages rarely. But there was one rule known far and wide. But there was one rule known far and wide. But there was one. Only the lantern keeper could guide people through misty hollows safely. The lantern keeper was an old kind man named Bram, who had held the job for longer than anyone could remember. Every night he would light his mystical lantern and stand at the entrance to the hollow, guiding travelers, adventurers, and those lost in the fog. His lantern was no ordinary light. It glowed with wisdom and kindness of generations of lantern keepers before him. But one chilly autumn evening, Bram grew ill. His granddaughter, a spirited young girl named Miri, was only the one there to help him. Sad. Mary, Brampton said, his voice barely a whisper. I can't hold the lantern tonight. The hollow needs a guide, and it's your time to step up. Take the lantern and let it guide you. Miri looked at her grandfather's lantern, which was heavy and cold in her small hands. She felt the weight of responsibility settle on her shoulders along with the pang of fear. The fog in the hollow seemed darker, thicker than usual. She took a deep breath, holding her grandfather's words in her heart, and stepped out into the mist. As Miri walked, the light of the lantern pierced the thick fog, casting strange shapes in the shadow. She heard eerie sounds all around her. The crackling of branches whispers from unseen creatures and a faint echo of laughter that shivers down her spine. She clutched the lantern tightly and kept going, though her hands trembled. Soon Mary came across her first challenge. A large dark shape loomed in front of her. As she drew closer, she realized it was an enormous bear blocking her path. The bear's fur was thick with moss, and its eyes were tired but gentle. Why do you come through Misty Hollow, little one? The bear asked, his voice like rumble from deep within the earth. I am guiding the way, Miri said, summoning her courage. It's my duty as lantern keeper. The bear gave her a long look, then stepped aside, saying, remember, child, that the way isn't always straight, and sometimes you must light the way within yourself. Mary nodded, though she wasn't entirely sure what the bear meant. As she continued, the fog grew denser, scrolling with every step. She was almost ready to turn back when she saw a faint figure stumbling in the mist, a young boy lost and crying softly to himself. Hello, Mary called, her voice a beacon in the fog. The boy looked up, relief flooding his tear stained face. I got lost, he whispered. I tried to find my way back home, but I just went deeper into the forest. Mary took his hand, her grip firm and steady. You are safe now. I will guide you out, she said, giving him a reassuring smile. The boy nodded, clinging to her hand as they continued walking together. But soon they reached a clearing filled with strange glowing orbs hanging like floating lanterns. The boy gasped, and Mary felt her heart race with a mix of awe and fear. She knew the legend. These were the souls of the mist, spirits that sometimes offered help but could be mischievous. They started to whisper, voices full of questions and riddles. Do you know where you are going, young keeper? One orb whispered. Are you afraid of the hollow? Asked another one. Mary took a steady breath, holding the lantern high. Yes, I am afraid. But I am also here to guide, she said, her voice gaining strength. And I will going because that's what a lantern keeper does. The orbs fell silent for a moment, and then one by one they began to float aside, clearing the path for her and the boy. Miri felt a surge of confidence fill her heart, knowing she was doing what her grandfather had taught her. As dawn approached, the fog began to lift and the trees became clearer. She and the boy finally reached the edge of the hollow where his grateful family was waiting. They thanked her with heartfelt words, but Mary couldn't stop thinking about the challenges she had faced alone in the mist. When she returned to her grandfather, he was sitting up, looking a bit better. You did well, Mary, he said, a proud smile lifting up his face. Mary handed him the lantern, but Bram shook his head. Keep it, my dear. The hollow has shown you the path, and now the lanterns belong to you. From that day forward, Mary was known as the youngest lantern keeper in the history of Misty Hollow. She went on to guide countless travelers, each journey teaching her new lessons of courage, kindness, and the strength found within. And every time she entered the misty woods, she remembered the bearer's words that sometimes the light needed to shine, but just on the path ahead, but from within herself. This story of Mary and the grandfather ended, but if you want to hear more stories like this, please like, subscribe, and share the story. Thank you.